Take two. Marker.
Marker and then clap.
Marker. and then what is it? Then I clap. Okay. Hi there. It's Utica Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, and come check out my little Chicago workshop. Come on. Girl, that look slapped. All right, here is the cool. So I grew up in Utica, Minnesota, and I have always wanted to come to Chicago. I tried to apply to colleges here in Chicago, and that never really panned out. And anytime I would come to visit, I was like, oh, there's something about this city that I'm just bonkers about. There was fabric that I've like never seen before, and like more of a hub. And so I hopped ship. And I decided to come here to Chicago. I feel like the community here has really embraced me for my work, and here it's been amazing to really like open my wings and just create a life for myself that I really enjoy with it. Just, yeah, I love it. This is where I spend most of my time in this little studio land.
We're not in your house right now. Where are we?
Yeah, so only with guys with big enough can come to my house. So now this space I inherited from an amazing designer who used to live in Chicago. His name is Domingo Cholula. He's iconic, he's incredible. We made some beautiful pieces together. Some of these pictures that are up here are all the pieces that we did together when we were working here in the studio together. So here, it's my little costume studio, and I have two spaces to kind of separate the energy. I am always in constant work mode, and so to have that in my home, I never get any sleep. So here, it's really nice to like come and just separate from everything and just get into the artistic flow. I'm kind of a hoarder, but an organized hoarder. I don't know if that's possible, but I try to collect as much of the most pretty things as I can in my travels and when I go to the fabric store. You never know when you're gonna use it. I have like 100 ongoing projects in my head, so I like try to kind of collect all the pieces when I go and then create a finished product later. And then also behind me, I have like specific boxes of like zippers, silk flowers, elastic, buttons. Oh, I'm very organized, but I'm also a hoarder. I have everything. I'm an artist and I create things with my hands, and I have a special connection to everything. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta keep it. And of course we have the mentality of like, I'm gonna use it someday. When you have so much stuff, you have to keep it organized or else you're just gonna get overrun. So of course I have everything in like bags, and it's all labeled, and you know, everything goes in a specific place. Color coordinated. Got some little gay rainbows going on. I have run a little costume business. I do like one-of-a-kind, big, artsy, crazy pieces on myself, and then I, whenever someone comes to me with a crazy big idea, I formulate it on my little table and take that idea, give it to the client, and I'm like, okay, is this your vibe? How is this working? And then we just make it happen. Some pieces that I've done in here that I'm just bonkers about is like I've done some stuff for Miss Kimora Hall. I worked with Bosco, creating her facial feminization reveal headpiece and the masks for her here in the studio. Yeah, I would say I'm a look queen. You know, I never really thought of myself as like a look queen from the start. I just put things on my body, and I was like, oh, I just love how this looks, and I feel like my taste fits my soul, and I can shoot my my soul out through my fashion. And when that got revered the way it did on the show, I was like, oh, I'm really playing Barbie. I feel like people enjoy my taste, and so I'm like, okay, I do too, so let's go on this journey together. And if that qualifies me as a look queen, I'll take it. I've always been an artist. I've always made things from nothing. My hands love to make. And so when I found drag, there's the option of sewing and creating these stories through your body and through the things you put on your body. There's something about it, just creating this character. I made Utica. That's wild to me. I made her, and now I can like tell my story through the clothes and through the performances. And she gifted me this opportunity to express myself and like tell my story. And so I put a lot of my energy into creating that visual storytelling, and I hope that people are grasping onto that story. Over here, we have my entrance look. I really adore and love this piece. It has this crazy pattern. It's very like Vivienne Westwood. My entrance look is campy. It's Vivienne Westwood, original to my craft. I started out my drag career with that look. Queens have like different names before they like finally figure out who they are and their vibe and whatnot. And I finally figured out, okay, I want to be Utica. I want to bring this little small town with me on this journey, and I want to be this like bringer of art and love and this creative energy, and I want to put her in this little package to show the world. That night that I performed as Utica way back in my baby drag days, I wore this outfit as like my debut, like showcasing who she was. She's art, she's color, she's crazy patterns, all together as one. And I decided I wanted my entrance look on the show to be an homage to that. It's love. It's just it's an homage to when I first started in drag, and I wanted to let that love permeate throughout my Drag Race career. I had no idea I was gonna lip sync in this look. Like, it really caught me off guard, but I think I did a darn good job. I kind of am very free when I'm performing, and so I was going everywhere. I was like on the stage, up, down, my hair was going everywhere, and I'm just like, I'm just so glad to be here. And then RuPaul was like, sashay away. And I was like, you're experiencing it there, and all the cameras are rolling, and you're just like reacting, and it's bizarre. It's like, and you see the character that you're putting off, and it's kind of surreal. It's like the ultimate stepping outside your body moment when you see yourself on TV. And I grew up on like a hodunk farm town, and so like seeing myself in that regard was bananas. And I've been following the show for forever, and so seeing myself as like one of the characters on the show it's insane. It was so fucking cool. And I really thought I was going home, and I was like, well, this was a good start to all of this madness. And I ended up in the pork chop lounge, and I was like, oh, it's not over. So here is a piece that I built in pure terror on the TV show of RuPaul's Drag Race. So this was leading up to the Beast Challenge. My Beast look is sophisticated. She's dark, she's menacing. I asked a lot of the girls if my look was enough, because everyone was wearing these like full like body with paws and like, beast. And I was like, oh, I don't know, mine's kind of simple. And I laid out my dress, my black one. Like, I was looking around the room, and everyone was basically a furry. So I was like, oh, I'm going way more sophisticated with this look. And so I was talking to a couple of the girls, and I was like, do you think this is enough? And so out of desperation, I built those little horns out of tin foil and put them on my head. I was like, I gotta be more beast. I was really terrified. So I snuck to the fabric wall, and they had this orange fur. And I quickly, while no one was looking, I went and I just snipped off like, how much was it? Probably like 4 or 5 yards, just like bam. And I started building this dress in the hotel room, because I was like, I don't know if the beast look is gonna be enough. So yeah, I started building this. It is very poorly made, but I was really fearful that my piece was not gonna be enough. There was a few moments on that show I really got to show like glamour, and I feel like that one was something that I really got to show some like dark beauty. So speaking of looks from the show, this one is my fascinator look from the show. We had our fascinator runway and my whole concept was like a little picnic basket, fascinator on my head. Like this was supposed to be the blanket that you sit on, and this was supposed to represent a little bit of the sunshine. I had other pieces with it, such as the fascinator on my head, the little ants crawling up my legs. A fascinator look. I love her, she's campy. She tells the story of going to a little picnic. I just love her. She just showcases my little joyful soul in a look. This was one of my favorite pieces on the show. I hemmed and hawed about this piece particularly before we went, because I was like, oh, is it too simple? But I think this piece was pretty revered. Like sometimes you don't have to do things that are over complicated. Even I love to do complicated, but you can do more simple, but the idea has to be so crystal clear, and you can still get the same amount of impact, but focusing on that simplicity. And I think this piece was a testament to that. And I ended up in the bottom that week, and I sent Elliot packing with it. So yeah, she holds a dear place in my heart. Ah! That was one of the few times people got to see me lip sync on the show. And yeah, I think I kick some padded ass. I went on the show and I was told what I'm good at and I'm told what I'm bad at. You know, a lot of people, you know, are given critique, but not on that level before. And then when you see yourself on the screen, you can see it for yourself. You're like, oh, I get it. It really shows you what you're good at and what you're doing well, what to improve upon, and what parts of you really, you know, shine through it. It's kind of cool. This is the baby, the gorgeous Gorgelinta. This is the sleeping bag look from my season of Drag Race, season 13. My bag ball, Miss Sleeping, Miss Bag. Just, she's everything. She's part of my personality now. I feel like there's a lot of words that can, I don't want to say like give her too much credit, but like to me, she's a masterpiece. I love her so much. I can't believe I made that on the show. I made this on the design challenge, and I still can't even believe I made this. Like, this is bananas. So this is made out of, if I recall correctly, 6 sleeping bags. And I saw these and I was like, oh my gosh, they work so perfectly together. Like the colors are perfect. I remember I was on the show and we were all in a line looking at the materials, and I was looking and I was like, okay, I know how to manipulate fabric. That's my MO. So I was like, okay, what fabrics do we have? And all the stuff was just bags. You know, it was like tote bags, purses, bean bags. Like I was like, where's the fabric? I wanna know where the fabric is. And I saw that there was these sleeping bags. When we all like rushed off to get the materials, I grabbed every sleeping bag that I could. And I was like, this is the one. And I quickly mathed out how much I would need to make it as grand as possible. And I realized I didn't have enough. So I quickly looked around and I saw who took the other sleeping bags. I grabbed materials that the other queen had after everyone took their hoard of stuff. And I saw that Tina had, I think, 2 of the sleeping bags. And I was like, I need those. And I went up to her station and I'm like, Tina, I see that you have these sleeping bags and I have the majority of the other ones. Can I take these and I'll give you I have 2 of these little round purses as a trade. And she was like, I love you so much. Of course, please, like, yeah. And then we switched and she was so nice. And I literally took them and I ran like a gremlin back to my station. I was like, I got the sleeping bags. Like, I can't believe you made that. I can't believe you didn't win on that episode. I'm still waiting for my check. Got Mick. Ah! No, it's special. It's, you know, it's unique and I love her a lot. I continue to perform both around here and around the world. And so I want to push the boundaries with that and really just grow. And, you know, I think what's special about us artists and us drag queens is we're flowers. We don't just like open once. You know, sometimes like we close or we sprout off a new bud and we flower again. Like before the show, I flowered, and then the show found me and I flowered again, and then off the show I'm flowering again. Like I want to just continue to see where these petals open up and how I grow. Put that on a t-shirt. I don't know. I want to be like the next Alexander McQueen someday. I want to, like, my 10-year plan is to get an amazing team together, make an art house, and just make some of the most beautiful things you can imagine. And so, yeah, I want to keep making and see what comes out of these hands. Because look at it. It's kind of I'd love to be on a certain TV show again someday. I feel like I have a lot of art and a lot of creation that I still have to put out there. So if I could do something like that, that'd be so fun.
I hope I see one of those.
Wouldn't that be? This was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on this little journey with me, coming down memory lane. It was a joy to have you, but I got some more sickening to make, so it was a pleasure. Bye-bye! So yeah, this is the stuff that this is a story of a girl.
Oh, hey everybody, it's Michelle Visage. Do you want Emmy-nominated gay? Well, then subscribe to RuPaul's Drag Race on YouTube.